Welcome to Zagreb, Croatia, where we have Fabiano Caruana entering in. Fabi, one of the best players in the world for many years now. Well over 10 years for sure. And he is taking on Magnus Carlsen. And this one is always very exciting for all the fans, all the viewers, because they are two of the best players in the world and they are going to fight it out in a 25 minutes plus 10-second increment game. The games have already begun. The arbiters, I think, have asked to start the clock, but Magnus arrives and instantly shakes hands and starts the clock. Fabi opens the game with 1 e4. What is Magnus's response going to be? He takes his time, as always, never in a rush. Magnus arrives to many games late, delayed, but then he just gets everything in order. This is his way. There's no rush because he knows that if he's in the right mindset, he'll be able to find the best moves. He has to overcome what happened yesterday against Gukesh. It was the last round of the previous day. And now today is day 3 of Rapid. It's a fresh day and he plays the Karo Khan. Very interesting choice by Magnus against Fabi. Fabi plays the most critical line, the advanced variation. The bishop comes out to f5. Now the knight goes to d2. And black plays the pawn to e6. Knight b3, stopping c5 ideas. And one of the things about Karo Khan is that black tries to get harmony with the limited space that he has here. So knight comes out and now all the pieces are basically fighting for these squares, and Magnus is like, the suit is not very comfortable for me. Let me take it out. And yeah, there you see the Team Liquid logo on his shirt, chess.com logo. Magnus has many sponsors. Bishop e2 played. And now c5 is very strong because you're trying to gain space. Fabi does not even touch the pawn. He goes c3, bolstering his structure. We have a bit of disturbance on the screen. This will get fixed in a couple of moves. Pawn to c4. The knight comes back and pawn to b5, gaining more space. The knight comes back to e1. And this is very important because while Magnus has gained space on the queen side, Fabi wants to expand on the king side. Knight comes to c2, he's going knight e3, he's going f4, he's going g4. Bishop drops back to h7 to make space for the knight. Then the bishop will come out and eventually castling. f4 played here by Fabi. This game is getting very interesting because Magnus has to worry about this f5 break. Ooh, he plays h5. You can chop this pawn, but then bishop c2 is hanging. So g3 played here. Now he takes on c2. And I think it has more to do with the fact that this bishop would have been terrible if he played g6 to stop f5. So he gave it up and now puts his knight on f5. White is following a light square strategy right now with all his pawns. Look at the structure he has created here. Bishop e7. King goes to g2. Caruana is now trying for h3, g4 ideas because he knows he has space. He doesn't have to worry about an attack coming in. And he goes h3. Magnus has to be careful not to be run over by Caruana's pawns. The knight jumps into g3, attacking the rook. Rook comes to e1. If you take here, I'm very happy. Rook e2, rook f1, f5. He plays a5, Magnus here. Magnus is actually in a very dangerous strategic situation. He's actually playing on the queen side, but his king is right there in the center. Queen c1 played by Fabi. And now he plays his queen up. Queen to d7. Rook comes up to e3. The rook defends the pawn on c3. And rook b8 played here, putting pressure on the b2 pawn. Bishop e1. And knight to e4 played by black. The bishop comes out to c2. And knight jumps to a4, attacking the b2 pawn, the c3 pawn. And rook to b1 played here by Fabi. Magnus finally opening up the queen side. This is good news for Magnus because while Fabi had this impending threat of trying for f5 at some point, Magnus has managed to open up the position on the queen side, and he castles. Wow. Wow. Wow, that was a surprise for me. Queen d1, he's attacking the knight on a4, rook b2 to pin the bishop here. And he takes, knight takes b2. Magnus Carlsen is playing this amazingly well, yeah? Like, it's like driving on the slope. You need a lot of skills there with a manual gear, yeah, in a car. He's balancing it beautifully. Brings the rook to the queen side now. Okay, if you take bishop e4, your light squares get tremendously weak. d3 becomes weak, so he goes knight h4, Fabi. g5 is tremendously strong. If you take bishop g5, attacks the rook. If you come back, gf4 traps the rook. But I think he misses it. He goes knight d3, gives up, pawn takes d3, and now the position is once again equalish. Magnus missing the g5 move there, but what he's gotten here is a very, very stable knight on the e4 square. Takes, queen takes d3. And now rook b2 check, rook comes back, queen moves to b7, and a4, a3. Magnus is 2 pawns down, but he's playing with his limited resources so beautifully. It's a battle of quality versus quantity. h4, Fabi is like, okay, I know that you're coming here, you want to attack my pawn, you want to queen this pawn, but I'm creating play on the king side. I want to checkmate your king. This is what equals do. This is what two great players do. They kind of challenge each other. They don't really fall for like, oh, Magnus, you're attacking, now I need to defend. No, I will have my own threats. Queen e2, queen b2. If you trade, this pawn is queening, so king f1, protecting. As Magnus, you can never trade the queens and go into an endgame. You would be utterly lost. Queen c1, attacking this pawn. He moves, queen g2 check, king h7, a mistake. King h8 was better. Why is it a mistake? f5 takes e6. And this is winning. Because now you get in, check, check, pick up the bishop, knight jumps in. But Fabi misses it. h6 played. He wants to checkmate in one move. But why can't I simply take the pawn? Magnus is like, yeah, okay, I'm just taking it. He has 1 minute 50 seconds. Fabi has only 20 seconds on the clock. Queen h3 check. The king has to move now. King g7. Magnus being super careful here. The position is still even. But he goes check. King f8. No more checks in the position. f5 might be important. Somehow get some things moving. Because anyway, this pawn is hanging. There's also pressure on the c3 pawn. He goes queen h2, threatening once again mate in 1 on h8. But the king can wriggle out from e8 to d7. I don't know if Magnus would like to do that. Magnus does it. King e8 on the board. He has 1 minute 57 seconds. Fabi is still playing on like last 4-5 seconds. Queen g2 played. And now Magnus is better. He can simply chop the pawn. Then the material will be even. And he somehow managed to trick Caruana. Queen takes f4 taken here. Brilliant play by Magnus Carlsen. King e2 and now only move queen c1. It's important to find. Because otherwise he would start attacking queen c1. Fantastic move. Big threats now. Queen, he goes back king f1. And now you don't want to be taking this pawn. It's too little to do. Yes, you want to go with your queen. You want to attack the position, queen g8 check. And now bishop drops back to f8. Queen comes back to g2. And now knight takes c3 is possible because the bishop is pinned. He takes it. Now black from being 2 pawns down is a pawn up. Queen f2. But this is now not going to work out for Fabi. Magnus brings his knight back. Queen e3. And now brings the bishop here. The bishop is pinned. It's too much of pressure. All endgames are also lost here. Queen c2 check. And he brings this king up. Now takes on e1. You can take with queen takes. But I simply chop off this very important pawn, queen a2. The other pawn is queening. It's about to reach the end of the board. Queen c1, trying to enter here, but I can go here, check, king back. There's no more checks. King runs out to g7. So queen f2 is game over. Because I attack the knight, I'm threatening queen g3 mate, and Magnus, of course, finds it. Beautiful chess. And Fabiano has no moves left. Magnus Carlsen has played an incredible game. Caruana resigns. And this one was high-class positional chess shown by Magnus. And there you see he's just discussing with Fabi. Like, what I loved about this entire game is the fact that Magnus was 2 pawns down, but was very comfortable with his position. And because his pieces were so well placed, he had this great ability to win back material. But even so, Fabi tried so hard and created his chances, and at one point even got successful if he had found the move f5 followed by e6, which would have weakened Magnus's king. But yeah, battle of two greats, and this is what we always get, a great game of chess.